lot of basketball, and obviously it's an exhibition opener, so there's not a lot of track record, but can you give us your assessment of the eye test of the Spartans, please?
Well, they're, as always when you come in here, they're going to be very physical with you. I think that's the toughest thing for us. It's so hard to simulate not only their size and their strength, we just can't, but also just the quickness and the speed. I think that's what really helps us, right? I think we could talk till we're blue in the face about transition defense and getting back and being able to make sure that you stay strong. And playing a game like this, you know, you realize real quick where we have to go and how far we have to go.
Well, what did you learn about your guys tonight?
Well, I think we're pretty tough. I think it's kind of what I expected. You know, if you in our conference, a number of times we got downhill and it just got thrown into the stands. Well, you know, there's not a whole lot of 6'10", 235-pound guys that are going to throw that. You know, I think we need to do a better job though. When we got downhill offensively, looking for the kick, and then. Yeah, defensively we're still a work in progress. I think that's probably the biggest thing about our team is we gotta find consecutive abilities to get stops.
Coach, I guess what stood out to you most about the experience for your players, and then what you saw from Michigan State?
Well, I think for what stood out again, I think if we're going to look all the way through for our guys. You know, sometimes they might have a little misconception of, you know, how good the Big Ten is, and they saw it full steam today about how good you have to be and how physical you have to be to play in this conference. And then from state, you know, I obviously follow a lot and really admire what Coach Izzo has done here. You know, he's been very good to us in Northern Michigan and really helped us out as a program. But when you look at right now, their size in the interior and athleticism at every spot is pretty amazing. You know, it's always interesting when you actually see it live, right? I mean, you watch it on film, and I knew Cassius was quick, but my goodness, is he lightning quick. I knew Ward was big, but he is a huge human being that is incredibly good around the basket. You know, I mean, that guy's a pro. So they have a lot of nice pieces. And I think for them it's the same thing, right? They're looking for a little depth and, you know, who's going to go. But when you start talking about their top 6 or 7, that's I'm sure as good as anybody in the NCAA Division I.
Coach, your team made some big strides in the GLIAC last year, and obviously Ferris State came out of your conference and won the national title in D2. What do you think this game shows that you guys can compete? Do you take something from that and you look at it and you say, okay, we can compete with the best in the GLIAC because we're good at this?
Yeah, I think so. Yes and no. I mean, there's not too much you can take away out of these games, except I'm happy with their effort. You know, I mean, sometimes there's a Division II upset of a Division I, and those teams that go on to have great years. You know, Ferris won a national championship, and I think they got beat by Duke by 60. What you know, what does that all mean, right? I mean, it's such a variance in teams and effort. I just know this for us right now, looking at our team. We have the right attitude, we have the right mentality. Now we just have to, when games matter and they're for real, be able to do those things and execute a little better than we did tonight.
Coach, can you talk a little bit more about Tom Izzo's relationship with Northern Michigan?
You know, it's incredible because he certainly holds not only the UP but Northern Michigan dear to his heart. You know, this past week when we were here, we had over, I think it was 24 of his teammates and guys that he coached at Northern up here. You know, how many coaches are going to go out of their way the night before the game to have all those guys over, you know, feed them pizza and have them tell stories. And you know, this is the great thing about Coach Izzo. You know, he came back for film and he let all those guys stay in his house. I can promise you that I wouldn't be doing that if it was my house, especially with some of the alums that I know that were there. But I think he just has a really near and dear soft spot in his heart for what NMU is all about, and he's been so supportive all the way and really supportive of our program for sure.
Anything else? Thank you.
Hey, thank you.